Support for this episode of PBS Reno Arts is provided by the Nevada Arts Council. Arts and creativity make us stronger, fueling innovation, prosperity, and thriving communities across Nevada. They boost our economy, promote well-being, and enhance education, empowering Nevadans of all ages. The Nevada Arts Council nurtures these essential creative forces. Together, let's elevate the arts in every corner of our great state. More at nvartscouncil.org. This is PBS Reno Arts from the studio of PBS Reno in Reno, Nevada. I'm Dave Santina, and I have with me an old friend, Tim Young. We've known each other for a long time, worked together on multiple projects, PBS Reno projects when you were with the Reno Phil, over the years, many different projects, and you've been a part of the station. You're on the community advisory board here at the station, so we're part of the family here. So I hope people don't mind that we're sharing. Now you've got a brand new gig. You're executive director of Arts for All Nevada, and I must admit I did not know of Arts for All Nevada until you joined. So I wanted to find out, just for people who are like me who weren't aware.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
What does the organization do?
It's amazing. Since I've taken this job, I've talked to a couple of folks who are very well connected in our community, and they say, I don't know what Arts for All Nevada is.
Right. So
the piece that people recognize immediately is the Lake Mansion. There on Arlington Street, just above the bridge.
Yeah. Is it Arlington and Court Street?
Arlington and Court, yep. Because that is our home, and that is one piece of our mission.
Okay.
And there's signage and beautiful things there that kind of make it a little splash in the community. But really the core of what we do, and we've been around for 40 years, is to provide visual art classes for people who are less able in different ways. So each year we are in over 23 schools providing classes, visual art classes in special needs classrooms. So over the year, about 500 classes for 450 kids who have various levels of being less abled.
Okay.
All the way from the folks down at Marvin Piccolo, many of whom are in wheelchairs and need aids to complete a project, up to kids who will actually be mainstreamed but are kind of just on a path. They have an individual learning plan, and they're struggling a little bit. And many of these students, don't have the opportunity to have a trained art teacher work with them on a project. I'm sure many of them are in homes where there is art, but some may not. And it's our role to get in there and give them that mainstream art experience.
That's great.
This extends into the adult world. We have a thing called Weekly Wonders.
Nice.
We're at the Reno Public Market. We are at our own Lake Mansion, and we are... Sorry, I'm looking at my notes to make sure I don't mess this up.
That's okay.
I'm still learning this.
Understood. You just started.
We're in Sparks at the community center there. And this is a free program for adults who again, are working with various levels of disability and would like to get together once a week and make art with friends.
Yeah.
So it's a social opportunity, it's a creative outlet, and it's just great community service.
It sounds incredible.
And we, as I say, we've been doing this for 40 years, kind of under the radar.
Yeah.
But serving thousands of people with these art classes.
That sounds incredible. And having just joined, you're as you say, you sort of comment about bringing some notes along because there's a lot going on, and it helps to have that to check out. You're pretty fresh here in this position. It's only been how long? A couple months?
I've been there about 5 weeks, yeah. And so what I'm doing now is, at the same time as trying to learn the administration of and other needs of this new little nonprofit, new to me nonprofit.
Sure.
I'm also visiting as many of these classes as I possibly can. So I went down to Gardnerville. We have a weekly class down there, and just again watch these fabulous teachers working with a community of folks who are making art and have been doing so for 4 or 5 years on a weekly basis.
That's great.
And then at the mansion, I should mention, we have, again, classes for children and adults, but we also have paid public programming. So we've got this whole working with with disabled piece.
Right.
Then we also have the just paid programming. So in some ways, we're like a connection service, right? You are a fabulous artist, and you would like to have a class in mixed media, in plein air, in watercolors, in sculpture. And we have the ability, we have the connections to create that class. We have the resources, we have the space at the Lake Mansion. We have 2 classrooms there. And so then we work with you. We say, okay, we're going to feature a class in watercolor, and it's going to be on these dates and times, and we advertise it, and hey presto, the teacher is doing what they love to do, teach. The students, whoever they are doing what they love to do, which is make art. And we are the very happy steward of that process.
That's fantastic. And so it sounds like all of the instructors for these classes are working or professional artists.
Correct.
And so, that's an appealing idea as a layperson who's just hearing about this, learning about it, to go and have an artist teach what they do well to me.
Correct. Yeah, we've got some fabulous artists. Again, I'm brand new, so I'm taking the time to go to as many of our classes as I can and meet the artists and see some of their work. The one I just was looking at this morning is a outdoor painting class. How many times do you go to that park and you say, gosh, that's a beautiful vista. I would like to paint that.
Yeah.
Or you're at that park and you see somebody with their easel and their paints, right? It's like such a classic vision.
It is.
And so we have 3 classes coming up, 3 different spots. One's in Cullen, one's out in Verdi. One is, I can't remember where the third one is. And you're invited, you pay a small fee, but then you show up, everything's provided, your little easel, your paints, your paper, and then you get to sit and your instructor will kind of guide you in how to capture that scene. Just as an example of one super cool class.
Yeah, I love that experience of walking through a park, or I've seen this in other places. I've seen it on the on that overlook that we all pass coming down the Mount Rose Highway around toward Lake Tahoe, and there's that one wide turn that has a turnout where you can pull in and park and have this beautiful view
where you can kill yourself just getting on and off the highway. I mean, let's just be.
You're right. That's also true. It's a thrill ride for those who want to try it. But I have seen plein air painters on many occasions, and I always feel like that must be the greatest feeling, to be out there in the open and painting this beautiful vista. We've done a few artifact stories over the years with, like Phyllis Schaefer. Yeah. And seen the experience of going out into a bit of the wild and then capturing it. Yeah. It's such a beautiful thing to see, and I can only imagine how it feels to participate in it. So having that offered as a class is exciting.
Exactly. The other one, I'm just thinking about things that I saw being advertised in our newsletter today. And of course, if you want to receive our newsletter, simply go to artsforallnevada.org. And when you open that site, there'll be an invitation to receive our newsletter on the front of that, on the homepage.
Nice.
The other one I saw today was mixed media sculptures, inspired by the work of Alexander Calder. Have you ever seen any of his work?
I must confess, I'm not familiar.
Oh my gosh, Dave, you should go look it up. I mean, he does these incredible sculptures, miraculously hanging, lightweight, beautiful copper and wire creations that appear to be impossible. Huh. And so, come to our class and make one of your very own.
I'm intrigued. Now I'm going to have to check that out.
I know that's when one of the best parts about this particular job is I get to take any class that is not full. And so that one, I'm like, okay, let's not fill it up because we need a seat left so I can go take it.
The perks of the job. Yeah. I'm looking at a bit of a list that I stole off of the website. Again, that's artsforallnevada.org. And just looking at some of the events, one in July, Capturing the Human Form, much as a painting
class.
This
is a live model
Oh,
painting
okay.
class. They will be clothed. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
Sometimes that's
yeah.
easier for the artists or for the would-be artists who take the class. It's more less uncomfortable for them.
I think that would be super challenging. I don't know about you, but my few art experiences. I mean, and I should say this is you know me as a musician
Yeah.
and somebody who's run musical organizations all my
Right.
life. So I'm having a lot of fun, kind of leaping into this visual art work. I have at various times in my life tried to paint things and capture things, and capturing those hands and faces and arms is just the hardest thing. So yeah, that's another one I'd like to take.
Capturing the human form, that's one that comes up starting July 1st. It looks like, and it looks like it runs through July 22nd. So is that a multiple class?
Yes,
multiple
exactly.
courses?
So you can see them all on the website. Some classes occur same day, same time of the week for multiple periods. So you get to kind of develop a concept and then work through it. And others are just one-time drop-in affairs where we have some special family classes set up for you and your child, or you and whoever you want to bring, for
Okay.
2 people to come and work together on a project.
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Bring your child in, have a little family time together, and
Right.
create something. I know there
Yeah.
are some family workshops. There's one I see on July 9th called Funky Animal Portraits.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the one that I'm thinking of. At least one of these, you're invited to make a photo or make a picture of your own pet.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. I have
Yeah.
a cat at home that my daughter would probably want to paint.
Well, there you go.
So-
you and she should come in and make that happen.
Make a funky animal portrait.
Yeah.
I love it. You also offer the occasional tour of the mansion itself, right?
Yes. So this is kind of the third leg of our mission, is to be a steward of the Lake Mansion. I'm now something up an authority on the history of the Lake Mansion.
Okay.
And I've given my first tour. So I'm sure as time goes by, I'll become more and more of an authority and learn more. For those of you listening who were in Reno in 2004, you might remember the Lake Mansion being moved. It's actually been moved twice. It was moved in, I think, 1971 down but to where the convention center is now.
Right.
And then 2004, it was moved all the way back up Virginia Street. And the whole thing is just an amazing testament to the quality of the work that built this
Right.
in 1877. So 150 years later, the thing is still standing and does not appear to have been hurt in any way by being moved around town.
That might, I don't know what the record is for the most often moved house, but I got to think that it's in the top few.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Twice it was moved.
Yeah.
So, and the mansion itself, by modern standards, it's kind of like when you go to Bowers Mansion down in Washoe Valley, and you say, well, this is not a huge mansion, but at the time, this qualified as a mansion.
Exactly, and it still has kind of mansion qualities. It's
Right.
got that funky widow's walk up the top, where you can. And I've been up there. You have to climb through the attic, but it's really super cool to stand on the top with that balustrade around.
Do you allow people out there during your tours?
No, sadly, no. I
A
think
little dangerous.
Yes, it involves 2 ladders and climbing through the attic, and no.
Yeah, liability is not
Yeah,
calling
I
for
think
that
so.
to happen. So yeah, you don't
Yeah.
need that on your head. You're just getting started.
Yeah. So the main floor is more or less decorated as it would have been in 1870.
Oh, nice.
So we do field trips for kids. They come out, they get the tour of the mansion. They talk about what life was like in 1870 because, of course, when the thing was built, there was no power, there was no water running into the building,
wow.
there was no facilities whatsoever. It was just a wooden box.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can think about what life would have been like, and they can see some of the furniture, and they can see some of the tools in the kitchen and so forth. And then we go to one of our classrooms, and they get to do an art project that and then take that back to school. So it's a really nice little field trip opportunity. And then, yes, during Art Town in particular, we do run regular tours. I also, once a day or so, somebody rings the doorbell and says, "Can I come in and take a tour?" And generally one of us will take pity and say, "Okay, sure, we'll wander around."
That's pretty cool that somebody is still willing to take a visitor and walk around and show them off. It's a great looking building. You can't drive past it without turning your head.
No, it's neat. The biggest project that I have immediately is to finish up a new roof for the mansion. If you look at it now, it's got these wooden shakes that are very correct for the time, but they're falling off or blowing off or coming off every day. When I show up to work, there's more wooden shakes on the ground.
Oh, no.
And we have, thankfully, a terrific grant from the State Historic Preservation Office that will pay for a new roof. We're just working out the details, and hopefully that'll be done before we face another winter.
That would be good. I wonder about a restoration of a building of history like that. Is it harder to find people who can do that work because of the age of the house or the kind of the style of the roof?
It is quite specific, and particularly in terms of this roof. We've spent a lot of time figuring out exactly. Because today's tiles, of course, are not going to catch on fire as easily, and they are not going to blow off as easily.
Right.
But they don't look, for the most part, like the traditional wooden shingle.
Yeah.
So to find something that meets all of those parameters has been a challenge.
I bet. And so, yeah, that sounds like a significant task to handle. So, yeah, you've got one on your plate along with just learning everything.
Right. Yeah, but then the other thing that I'm doing is thinking hard about what else we should be doing. So, we've talked about the classes and special needs classrooms. We've talked about the classes at the mansion. We also do some festivals. We open the mansion and the grounds and have a couple of artists there. Some food trucks, some music, and we do these 3 times a year. Just invite everybody to come out and make art at the mansion.
Love that.
It's so fun. And then we do creativity camps during the school holidays. So if you would like to sign up your child for a camp that has some beautiful creative elements, then look at the website and do that.
That sounds wonderful.
Those are the major pieces. But then the next thing that I'm thinking about is what else we should be doing.
Right.
Because we are Arts for All Nevada. And really, at this point, we go as south as Gardnerville and as far east as Lovelock. I guess we've done things in Winnemucca, but not currently.
Okay.
And I would like us to be doing more around the state. So if people have ideas, I would love to have them. It's tyoung@artsforallnevada.org. Similarly, we're coming up on the 150th anniversary of the mansion. At 1877, 2027 will be 150 years.
Nice.
So thinking about what kinds of things we can do to kind of highlight and show it off, and other restoration. I know there's some other bits and pieces that we need to clean up, but there's lots and lots going on.
So, yeah, and you're just getting started, so watch this space.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, well, and the one piece that we haven't talked about, we, in addition to doing special needs work in special needs classrooms, we're also in general education classrooms. And this year, thanks to a National Endowment for the Arts grant, we were able to add 5 Title I elementary schools.
Oh, fantastic.
However, you know where this is going.
I think I might know where this is going.
We got the notice last week that we've received 50% of that grant. I think it was $34,000, and that we're not going to receive any more, just because the NEA grant has come to a stop. So that's another big piece of my new job is raising some money to make sure that we keep these classes going in Title I elementary schools.
Yeah, that sounds like it's really valuable and a service that you don't want to see end. So how do people, or can people, contribute or help to make these continue these different services happening?
What a great question, Dave. Thank you so much. So when you go to our website, after you've signed up for the newsletter, you will find a button that says Donate Now, and that is the easiest way of all. Or you can always call me at the mansion or email me again at tyoung@artsforallnevada.org, and we'll make things happen. We are so lucky in this community, and we say it again and again. There are so many generous foundations and corporations and individuals who make things happen, and it's a part of my new job now to tell people about what we do.
Well, I'm glad you came and told us about it. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing more of what you do going forward. And I'm definitely coming over for a tour.
Good. Yeah, just do call ahead.
I promise not to just show up and knock. Okay. So for those who are just checking in here, if you somehow missed what we were just talking about, you can reach out to Tim, T-Y-O-U-N-G, Tim Young at...
T Young at...
T Young, T-Y-O-U-N-G.
artsforallnevada.org.
Got it. And then the website, artsforallnevada.org. You can find all the information about all of these events that are happening, what's coming up. Your calendar does go out a few months, so you can really prepare.
Yeah, we program pretty heavily through July and the first part of August. We're quiet at the end of August because hopefully that's when the new roof will be going on.
Oh, that'd be good.
And then shortly we'll be preparing the calendar for September and October. So check all that out. And if you are an artist who has not yet worked with us, please also reach out. And we're always seeking talented folks who would like to share their gifts with the community.
Great suggestion. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you giving us the time.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Dave. It's great to see you, as always.
Great to see you. We'll see you at the next Community Advisory Board meeting.
Sounds good.
All right. Before we go, I want to remind everybody who's listening to watch Artifacts on PBS Reno. That's via broadcast or streaming on pbsreno.org or the PBS Reno YouTube channel or the PBS app. So many ways to do it. Also, read art views at pbsreno.org. If you have a question, maybe a comment or suggestion, send them to me at podcasts@pbsreno.org. My thanks to Tim Young, and thank you for listening to PBS Reno Arts. Support for this episode of PBS Reno Arts is provided by the Nevada Arts Council. Arts and creativity make us stronger, fueling innovation, prosperity, and thriving communities across Nevada. They boost our economy, promote well-being, and enhance education, empowering Nevadans of all ages. The Nevada Arts Council nurtures these essential creative forces. Together, let's elevate the arts in every corner of our great state. More at nvartscouncil.org.